Yeah.
But if you will be in the Dana's place, who would be my next opponent?
Islam. 100%. 100%.
I wish they
I tried to
did
tell him
fight.
that this weekend.
That would be a great fight.
Yeah, that's the fight to make. Because you have a world champion versus a world champion. Like, if anybody deserves a fight for the world title in the next weight class, it's you. It's simple.
Alright, so the Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria dream fight we all want to happen doesn't seem like it's likely to happen anytime soon. With Islam's team saying that Ilia needs to fight at least one contender, and then Ilia Topuria saying that he refuses to fight a contender, it seems like both sides here are at a stalemate, and I don't think that this fight is going to be happening next or anytime soon. But before I get into what these guys were saying, I'd appreciate if you guys could like, subscribe. We're really close to 600 subs. Anyway, let me get into it. Now, Islam is the guy that everyone is pointing to for this fight being delayed. Ignoring the fact that I have an Islam Makhachev profile picture, I really don't think that Islam is the one that's ducking this fight. He seemed open to the idea of the fight before, and almost everything about Ilia from Islam's side seemed to be coming from his coaches. And Islam even has a quote where he says, if you're the best in the world, it doesn't matter who's standing across from you. And I really doubt that Islam Makhachev is scared of Ilia Topuria, considering he's called out so many scarier guys like Brock Lesnar and Floyd Mayweather.
Hey, Dana, I want a money fight. Give me Mayweather. Woo!
So I really don't think that Islam is ducking Ilia Topuria. I really think that it's his team that just does not want him to fight Ilia for some reason. Because as dangerous as Ilia Topuria is, this isn't really a Tom Aspinall, John Jones type of situation. Despite Ilia Topuria's aura right now, he's not really exactly like an unbeatable fighter or anything. Because although he's undefeated, he has shown to have some holes in his game. But it's not like Islam's team is scared of Ilia Topuria fighting Islam or anything. They don't think that he's just going to brutally knock him out. But instead, they think that beating Ilia Topuria is actually just not that good for his legacy. You know, beating a 16-0 undefeated featherweight champion who knocked out Max Holloway is actually just not that good for Islam's legacy. And I really understand where they're coming from here. I mean, Justin Gaethje all time is higher than Ilia Topuria. They should absolutely fight him, or Paddy Pimblett. Bro, if Islam Makhachev beats Paddy Pimblett, I mean, he's the GOAT. Like, what are we even talking about here? Bro, like, seriously, what the hell are these guys actually on about? Like, how is Ilia Topuria not good, but Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje are like, bro, this is the greatest title defense ever for Islam Makhachev, bro. Paddy Pimblett just beat Michael Chandler, bro. Michael Chandler, who's like an absolute bum. This is the guy who deserves to get a title shot. It literally makes no sense, because if he beats Ilia Topuria, he's arguably like right below John Jones. And Khabib made the point that if Ilia Topuria moves up and immediately loses to Islam Makhachev, people will say that he's just a nobody at 155. And I absolutely get where Khabib is coming from here, okay? It does make some sense, but only when there's a deserving contender like Arman Sarukian, not Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. And again, in Khabib's defense, he does seem like he wants Islam to fight Arman Sarukian. I think it's just the UFC that won't allow it. But again, when the two other title defenses are either Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje, I don't understand why you would have a problem with Ilia Topuria getting a title shot. However, I don't think that Ilia Topuria is exactly innocent in this either. Now, Islam Makhachev's team has made one request that Ilia Topuria fights one lightweight before he fights Islam Makhachev. This really isn't that crazy of a request. Even though the UFC did promise Ilia Topuria that he would get a title shot if he moved up to lightweight, I really don't understand why you're chasing Islam Makhachev and then letting one singular fight get in between that title shot. Because he's basically refusing to fight anyone except Islam Makhachev.
I wouldn't fight for a #1 contender
Really?
fight. No.
You only want to fight for the title?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Like, this genuinely makes no sense to me, because he'd probably get Charles Oliveira as his first fight at lightweight. A guy he's literally been beefing with online, he doesn't want to fight for some reason. He's like implying that Charles Oliveira is an easy fight for him, yet for some reason he just doesn't want to fight him. And I get that it's annoying for Ilia Topuria, and I get that he's waiting for Islam Makhachev, but you literally have a perfect fight in front of you with a guy that you literally have beef with, and that happens to be a very winnable fight for you as well. Like, seriously, if you want the Islam Makhachev fight so bad, I don't understand why you don't just fight Charles Oliveira in the meantime. Like, this guy is making demands even though he's had only one title defense. He's not even like a huge star or anything. Like, the way that Ilia Topuria is talking and demanding things, you think that he's like a Conor McGregor level star with like John Jones level title wins. And I absolutely think that Ilia Topuria deserves this title shot, okay? But he's not even the champion of the division, and he's making all of these demands and acting like he has the upper hand on the guy who's literally the GOAT of the division. Now, I actually think that Ilia Topuria getting one fight in before Islam Makhachev is actually a very good idea, because Ilia Topuria isn't exactly like a huge featherweight in terms of like actual size. Now, in terms of weight, the guy walks around at like 170, 180, which is absolutely huge. But inside the octagon, he's not really like this huge featherweight. Like, at one point, this guy used to be a bantamweight. But Islam is literally huge, okay? Pause. But Islam can barely make lightweight anymore. He's gonna be like 3 or 4 inches taller than Ilia Topuria. I really think that Ilia Topuria should take that Charles Oliveira fight or the Arman fight or even like Paddy Pimblett and just use that fight to get adjusted to the weight class. Because Ilia Topuria is about to go straight from featherweight, where he's fighting 145 guys, to fighting Islam Makhachev, who's like a bloody light heavyweight. And considering the fact that Ilia Topuria can only strike as well as he does, because of the fact that if someone tries to take him down, he knows that he'll be good on the ground, which I think can really limit him in the striking, because not only is Islam going to be the more skilled grappler, he's going to be like twice his size, and I think there's a really good chance that Ilia Topuria, if he just rushes into his fight, he just gets absolutely weight bullied. So I do think that you should fight a guy who's slightly lighter than Islam Makhachev and is not going to weight bully him like Charles Oliveira or an Arman Sarukian, and just use it to readjust to the weight class. Now I do think that the fans are partially at fault for this fight not happening, because for the longest time the Islam haters have just constantly discredited that Volk win, saying that he's just a featherweight and that Islam Makhachev only fights featherweights. You can't really be that mad that he doesn't want to fight another featherweight for that exact reason, for things that people are still saying. Now I don't exactly agree with that reason. I still think it's pretty stupid, and I think that most of the guys who are saying that are usually just casuals or people who just absolutely hate Dagestani fighters for some reason. I think that's mainly the type of people who are saying those kinds of things, just trying to discredit Islam for some reason. But I really don't get why they would actually care about that at all. That's just so stupid and just such a little thing. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. All right.
Finna take that lounge truck to Japan. I'm like, yo, nigga, get your bands up. Yes, she can.